Hiring 1,000 people doesn't make you smart, and doing it without burning out your team, diluting culture, or wasting millions, well, that takes something else entirely. Hi, my name's Konstantin, and if you're new to the channel, I've built businesses, sold businesses, sat in boardrooms, and over the last 20 years, I've hired more people than I can count. I've also made every hiring mistake you can think of. Trusted my gut, believed the loudest person, skipped structure to move fast, and engaged recruiters only to end up with the wrong hire. Each mistake has cost me more than I'd like to admit. So I thought that today I'll give you the 7 rules I now live by to make the right hire every time. Now, these rules help me go from chaotic hiring to consistently building high-performing teams. So let's get into it. First off, we need to understand that great hiring isn't a numbers game. More candidates won't save you. And if you don't know what you're hiring for, seeing 100 CVs just means wasting 100 people's time, including your own. The real problem here isn't the candidate pipeline. It's actually the lack of clarity, the lack of precision. Too many managers start hiring with vague ideas. We need someone senior, so 7 years of experience sounds about right. Someone proactive, a team player, someone who can hit the ground running. But you see, none of that means anything unless you can answer these questions. What specific outcomes will this role deliver? What does success look like in the first 6 months? What about 12 months? 18 months? What does this person need to know? What do they need to do? And who do they need to be able to deliver it with? Without that clarity, every interview becomes a vibe check. And that's how bad hires happen. Not because you picked the wrong person, but because you actually never defined what the right person looks like in a measurable way. Next up, never hire off a generic job description. Now, I see this all the time. We're looking for a team player who thrives in a fast-paced environment. No, that's not clarity. That's copy-paste laziness. And here's what happens if you do that. You get a pile of applications, most of them irrelevant. Some written by people, some written by AI, and none of them actually help you find the person you actually need. Why? Because you're not being clear about what you need. Even your own team won't know who to refer. They can't help you if you don't understand the role yourself. So here's the fix. Write a job sales pitch. What's the actual mission of the role? What makes it interesting or important? Why should someone good even care to apply for this job? If you can't answer that, don't expect great people to show up. You haven't given them a reason to show up. Next up, let's look at rule 3. Don't rely on inbound applications. Now, this is where most hiring processes start and, well, honestly, stall out. You write up a job ad, post it, and wait. And that's post and pray. You get 100 applications, sometimes 1,000. And that sounds productive. It feels productive, right? Well, it's not. It's just noise. AI-generated CVs, keyword spammers, and people who haven't actually even read the job description end up applying. And if you really want to make better hires faster and avoid all that AI-generated noise, the best place to look isn't through job ads. It's actually your network, your team's referrals. It's the candidates who've interviewed with your business before and were a close second. These are the people most likely to understand your business, hit the ground running, and actually deliver results. And you don't need to spend months sourcing or hand over tens of thousands to an agency. But here's the thing. This only works if you're clear on why the role exists, clear on what success looks like, and clear on what this hire needs to achieve in the next 6, 12, 18 months. If you're not clear on that, none of these channels work because you won't know who you're looking for, and neither will anyone else. Next up, let's talk about culture. Now, culture is how people behave, not what they say. So forget about the values posters on the wall and forget about how someone comes across in the interview. Culture is what people do when no one is watching, when things get hard, when priorities shift, when the pressure is on. That's what you need to hire for. So don't hire for a culture fit. That just leads to teams full of people who think the same way. Instead, focus on 2 things. Culture ad. Now, does this person bring something to your team that is missing? Do they help you grow? Do they help you evolve? And culture adaptability. can they actually operate in your environment, in your context, and handle the change that you anticipate will be happening? And don't just take their word for it. Use structured interviews. Ask for real examples. Look for behavioral patterns because they're actually the best predictor of how people operate in the real world. This is also why behavioral and competency-based interviewing isn't a nice to have. It's a core skill every manager should master. And if you want to go deeper on how to actually run those types of interviews, check out the link below in the show notes and I'll walk you through exactly how to do it. Next up, rule number 5. Let's talk about structure over sparkle. Now, some of the worst hires I've seen and actually made absolutely nailed the interview. They were confident, polished, they said all the right things. But once they actually joined, well, nothing landed. No delivery, no results, just, well, disappointment. Why? Because the interview was unstructured. No plan, no focus, just vibes. You should never walk into an interview without a plan. Know exactly what you're assessing for. Use a scorecard. Tie your questions to real outcomes and real competencies. And when someone gives you a smooth answer, don't just take it at face value and nod along. Follow up. Ask for specifics. Dig into what actually happened. Be curious. Push back a little. That's where the truth is. And if you want help with that, I've actually added a download in the show notes. The 7 proven interview frameworks used by top executives and executive search firms. Use them and don't wing your interviews. Next, let's talk about candidate experience. This is the representation of your brand. And those high performers you want to hire, well, they're not just applying, they're also evaluating you. They're deciding if you are worth their time. If your process is slow, unclear, or disorganized, if your interviews feel off, that's all they need to know. You've just shown them what it's like to work with you. Every step sends a message. So make sure it's the right one. From the first message to the final offer, show clarity. Be on time, be prepared, communicate well. It also makes it easier for people to say yes. And that actually really matters because here's the crazy part. Only 2/3 of offers get accepted. So when you actually drop the ball on candidate experience, chances are you will need to start over. That is a lot of time, a lot of effort, and honestly, hiring is just not one of those things I enjoy doing again. I have a business to run, so get it right the first time so you can move on with doing your job. And finally, let's talk about hiring as a team sport. You see, hiring is not about what one person does. It's not about the recruiter, not about the manager, and not even about the founder. You need alignment across the team to make the right hiring decisions. And that means a shared definition of success. You see, clarity on what outcomes this hire needs to deliver is essential, as is clear ownership of who's assessing what in the process. Without that, you're going to get crossed wires, you're going to get conflicting feedback, and you're going to get decisions based on gut, on bias, not on facts. And here's where it all often falls apart. The hippo principle, the highest paid person's opinion. If the highest paid person speaks first, everyone else follows. So don't let that happen to you. Run structured debriefs. Make space for each person to share their view, their facts, their evidence that they've collected based on what they actually heard, saw, assessed before the most senior voice weighs in. Hiring isn't a solo call. Treat it like a team sport and you'll make better decisions that everyone can stand behind. After hiring over 1,000 people, what I've learned is this. It's not about speed. It's about repeatability. It's not about gut feel. It's about evidence. And it's not about volume. It's about clarity. Because clarity reduces friction. And as the old mantra goes, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So if you want to build a team that actually lasts, don't wing it, design it. And if you want help doing that, hit subscribe and check out my next video linked here.